What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to y'all with those playoff predictions, aka preview of the series. The Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Golden State Warriors. The Timberwolves got a long break because they finished their series against the Lakers in 5, so they've been able to rest and get healed up, get some practice, relax a little bit, but they ready. This team has been good all year, even through the trade with Karl Anthony Towns, still making it to the playoffs, still being able to advance, and still showing you that they are a legitimate team in the Western Conference that you should and have to be worried about. Well, the Golden State Warriors had some trouble knocking off the Houston Rockets and being able to beat them and having some trouble with them. They were still able to figure things out and get it done, even on the road, like most great teams do. And that's something that you have to be impressed by from them. But I'm going to start off saying that this is going to be a series that depends on what Anthony Edwards does and what Steph Curry does, because they're going to be the focal points of the offense. Who can stop who can shut them down for as long as they can, and who's going to step up in the fourth quarter when it matters the most to be able to win and take this series by his neck. Because both teams did that again their previous series, and they're going to have to rely on their superstars to do that again. Either they're going to be playmaking or scoring a ton in this series to lead their team to victory. So I think Steph Curry and Anthony Edwards are going to be the two guys to watch out for in this series. But let's talk about the Timberwolves and what they can do first. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is going to be a good piece for them, being able to come in, give them athleticism, give them length, give them size, give them three-point shooting and scoring opportunities is something that he's going to be relied on and going to have to deliver if they're going to have a shot, to beat the Golden State Warriors. They need as many guys that can space the floor and make plays for them as they can, and Nickeil is one of their better players, and I think he's ready for that moment. Proved that in the last series. He's going to have to do it again in this one. I know he's not going to play a ton of minutes or be relied on that much, but he is going to play. He is going to have opportunities. He is going to have chances. We know how important the others can be, and I think he's going to be one that they're going to rely on. And we'll see if he's going to be able to do it, but he's going to be needed to do it if they're going to want to beat the Warriors, and we're going to see if he's going to be able to do that. Mike Conley, we know he's older. We know he's not going to play 30, 40 minutes. But if he can just keep making shots, corner threes, top of the key threes, floaters sometimes, just making the right play after that. If you don't have a shot, those are the things that he has always done at a high level. I don't think that's going to change in this series. But, Mike Conley is a guy that really understands the game and reads the game the right way. And he can find guys and score. So he's not going to play 30, 40 minutes, but he's going to be a big part of what they do offensively too, when he's out there on the court. Dante DiVincenzo, you can say the same thing. We don't want him making no bonehead plays. What he needs to do is be ready to make a play as soon as he gets the ball. Either be ready to shoot the three or be ready to drive it. Also, try to play some defense, cause some turnovers, and get out in transition and try to score as fast as you can is what they're going to be asking him to do. Obviously, you still have guys like Jaden McDaniels, who's going to be asked to hit threes in the corner, put the ball on the floor, get to the rim and finish, get to the free throw line from time to time, and play good defense on guys like Steph and Jimmy Butler, and even other guys too, like Brandon Podziemski, to try to take them out the game or turn them over. And he has been excellent at that the last couple of playoff series, and I think he's going to have to continue that in this one. He's a huge part of what they do, and I don't see that changing no time soon. Julius Randle, physical. He comes right at you. He goes right through you. He's going to have to knock down threes. He's going to have to rebound a little bit better than he's been doing because there's opportunities for him against this particular team. I think he also is going to be able to get to the free throw line a bunch. That's going to help them still put points on the board, and they're going to need him to do that. And I also feel like, they have guys that can give him some trouble with athleticism, but that's why he has to be physical and challenge him that way, Nas Reed, he's just going to have to play off players and just be ready to score when the opportunity presents itself. He's going to have to hit those threes. He's going to have to hit some shots in the mid range. He's going to have to try to finish around the rim when he can and get to the free throw line if he can do that too. And that's what they're going to mostly need him to do. Rudy Gobert, we don't really know what he's going to be. He's always a wild card because sometimes he just protects the rim and rebound. Sometimes he can give you a double-double. Sometimes he can turn the ball over too much or just miss opportunities as easy. You don't know what type of Gobert you're going to get, but he is still one of their better players. He is still one of the better centers when his head is on right and he's locked in the way that he should be. So I'm not going to count him out and act like he's not going to do anything at all in this series. We know what he's capable of. We know what we've seen last series. So, you got to take the good with the bad with him. And it's going to be making you scratch your head sometimes. But at the same time, you have to live with it. That's what you traded for. That's what you wanted. Now you got it. Now you got to try to win with it. That's just how the NBA goes. And then, of course, Anthony Edwards. He's going to be the guy that's got to be big time. He's going to have to continue to make big plays and big shots to sink the Warriors. They have guys like Jimmy Butler and guys like Buddy Hield that they're going to throw at him, and he's going to have to find ways to get switches on those guys or switch to get those guys off of them so that way he can score the way that he wants to and the way that the team needs him to, because he is the team. Whatever he can do can make their job easier or harder. Plus, on top of that, he's one of the best shot creators in the world at this point in his career already, and he's only 23. But, other guys that might have some time just because foul trouble or technical or something, obviously ejections. Luka Garza might get on the court from time to time. All you need him to do is rebound and score when he can and be in the right spots at the right time. Terrence Shannon Jr., obviously, he's a guy that's not going to get crazy minutes or maybe not even play, but you never really know how these games are going to go until you watch them. So he's another guy that could get off the bench in this series and try to contribute something. Rob Dillingham is a quick, speedy guy. They might need instant offense. He can provide that to a certain extent. But he's a fearless guy, so I can see him trying to have fun out there too. And of course, Bones Highland. He's not the ideal guy that you want to play, but the guy can put the ball in the basket from time to time. And then obviously Jalen Clark. He's a good guard. He understands how to play the game the right way. He understands how to use his body, and he can give you something competitive wise that you might need depending on what happens out there on the court. You never know. So I can see him playing a little bit too in this series, but not big enough of a role to make a huge impact on it. But if you can just get some rebounds, some passes, score the basketball like these guys can do, it still helps the team in those spots that they may need it throughout the game. Other than that, let's talk about the Golden State Warriors. Jimmy Butler, obviously, they're going to need playoff Jimmy. He had played for the Minnesota Timberwolves before, didn't believe that they can get him to where they needed to get him into his career. So he left to go to a different team that he felt like he can win with or they can do more for his career. Now he's with the Warriors trying to put them out. I think he's going to have to continue to stay in that post and hit those mid-range shots, get to the free throw line, and be able to see other players and opportunities that can come up and just try to make their best play, whether if that's getting to the free throw line or scoring or just finding teammates. He has been perfect in that role for this team, and he has been the ideal fit, and it really has helped Steph Curry out, who's the next guy. If his three ball is going and his finishing going and moving without the basketball is going, if they don't pay enough attention to him or they don't respect him enough in those areas, he's going to hurt them. He did it to the Rockets in Game 7. I think he's going to be ready to do it to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And when he does it, nobody's going to be surprised because Steph is one of the most genius players in NBA history. That's why he's top 75. That's why people have him in the top 15 greatest players ever already, and his career's not even over, is because he can hurt you in so many ways, and he trusts his teammates, so he gives up the ball and allows them to make the right play, whether that's scoring or passing. And he can always come find a way to still hurt you in that possession. And that's what make him so great. And I think that they're going to have to really pay attention to him, or he's going to go for 25 to 30 each and every game. And it's going to be games it's going to be tough for you to win. Draymond Green, obviously, his playmaking ability, seeing at the top of the key or at the corner, being able to make good passes and good reads, defending crazy, trying to get steals, trying to get blocks, guarding guys one on one, forcing them to take tough shots. His worst part of his game is just being a head case, just getting mad, getting angry, and doing stuff that he shouldn't do that can hurt your team and give them guys free throw attempts and injections that can really hurt your defense. Other than that, Draymond Green is just perfect for this team and what they're trying to do on both ends of the court. So they're going to have to really make sure they're staying in front of them, making them dribble that ball, making them a scorer. And if they do that, then they did it the right way. You just got to see how many points he can get or how many shots he's willing to attempt, because he can always rehuddle their offense too. And so can Steph and so can Jimmy. Buddy Hill is just bonkers in the last game, but we knew he has had his shooting struggles throughout the season and also throughout the playoffs. But he's going to be a guy they're going to rely on just to give them potential shooting, just to be a threat out there, because you have to have somebody out there that can make it pay, even if he doesn't have it going each game. He just needs to have it going for 4 games. And if he does hit 2 or 3 threes, you're happy with that result because he's not going to take a ton of shots anyway. He just out there for you to pay attention to, and out there to be saying, if you're going to leave me open, we got Buddy Hield in that corner at the top of the key. He can make that shot, and he can be a big difference maker in any series because of that. But it just shows you how hard the Warriors can be to beat. Trace Jackson Davis was a guy that was getting a lot of rotation minutes. I don't think he's going to play that much in this series. I know that they have some big man that they can use him on, but he's a little bit too slow. Um, he's a little bit too predictable also offensively. But you need big bodies that you can throw at out there for Nas Reed and um, Rudy Gobert. So he's going to be a guy that you might play for that reason. Or you never know if a blowout happened, he'll get on the court. You can say the same thing about Braxton Key and Kevin Knox and Kaminga. Kaminga, I don't see him playing that much in this series, but he can be a guy that can go off of 15 points or 10 points in a game just because the matchup or just because how they guarding them or the opportunities that's going to be there for him. Can he turn down the threes? Can he make the threes? Can he get out in transition? Can he score in the half court because they have a guy that's favorable for him or they feel like it's a good matchup? These are things that you're going to have to look at if you're a coach, just to give you as much advantages as you can to be able to win this series. You can say the same thing about Kevon Looney. He's going to bump. He's going to knock you. He's going to rebound. He's going to try to be a big body that can be active in the paint. And that's all you really need him to do. And that's why he's on this roster. Moses Mooney, he's hit or miss. Sometimes his jump shot is going. Sometimes it's not. But if he's out there, he can score. And just knowing that can make things tough. If you want to help, if you want to double team you, do I want to leave Hield open? Do I want to leave Moody open? If they go small, it gets even tougher because they got more guys that can hurt you offensively. But you got to pick your poison. You got to live with what you got to live with. And you might have to leave Moody open for a drive or a three. You're just going to have to live with it. And I think the Rockets did that. It worked out for them in game 7, but it didn't work out for them the entire series. Gary Payton, he's a two-way player. He's going to be trying to get dunks. He's going to be trying to get layups. He's going to be trying to get wide open threes. He's going to try to get steals so he can get out in transition or just be a transition player in general. They're going to need that, and that's what he always been able to do. That's why he's back on this roster, and the guys paid him up because they feel like he is a great role player and a great guy that understands what he needs to be out there for, and that hasn't changed. You can say the same thing about Brandon Podziemski and Quentin Post. They out there to score. We need y'all to defend, give us some speed, give us a little athleticism, and keep the screens going if you Quentin Post and being able to hit the threes when it's needed, being able to rebound at a decent level when you're out there. Podziemski just needs to handle the ball and try to get to the paint or get to the floater or get to the basket. If not, be ready to hit a spot up three or get out in transition. That's all we're asking of you. Santos, he might play a couple minutes. He's not going to do too much to hurt you. You just know that they're going to give somebody a breather, and he might be a guy they're going to put in there. And Pat Spencer, if the game gets too out of hand, you'll see him. Other than that, I don't think he's going to play too much in this series because the Timberwolves are legit, and so are the Warriors. So role players are not going to get too much time because there's already going to be guys ahead of them in the rotation. So it does make sense why these guys need to be in the discussion, because if injuries happen, injection happens, foul trouble happens, these guys can come in and still give you quality minutes and quality results. And that's what you need to stay ahead or get a lead in the game or fight back to get back in the game. And that's why role players are important and essential to the game of basketball in the playoffs. Also, because like we know, the playoffs is all about matchups, and depending on your matchups and depending on what you're doing, obviously works in your favor if you have the right guys that can do it or change the game for you. And that's what you need to do to be able to get the edge, to be able to win the game. Winning the game helps you win the series, and then it comes all together at the end of the day. But I know you guys are here for my prediction. Who do I think is going to win this series? I'm going Minnesota in 7. They got home court advantage. They got Anthony Edwards. They have a good defense. Chris Finch is an underrated coach. He knows what his team needs. He knows how to make changes. He knows how to get guys out of there early. He knows what he's doing. Steve Kerr is obviously a legend as a coach, so it's going to be hard to outcoach Steve Kerr. But Ime Udoka, he only been there for the Rockets 2 years, and he did a good job. His team just couldn't execute the way they needed to execute to beat them. I think the Wolves can, and who they gonna have on Anthony Edwards? Jimmy Butler. I mean, that's probably the only guy you can throw on Anthony Edwards and feel that you can do it one-on-one with. If you're not going to do that, you're going to be double teaming and trapping Anthony Edwards that whole series. Then it's about what you're doing for Naz Reid, what you doing for Jaden McDaniels. Don't forget Mike Conley. He can't hit a shot. Gobert going to find a way to roll to the basket. Too many opportunities can happen and rise up out of nowhere if you just try to do all with the double team or trap. So they're going to have to put somebody on Anthony Edwards. He can light you up. We know that Anthony Edwards is one of the best scorers / combo guards in this league. And you can say, well, they got Steph and Jimmy. Well, they were struggling, in that Rocket series to finish them off and be able to beat them. And I know it's a different team, but they know more what they should be doing. They know what they're trying to do, and they have a guy that can step up in the clutch and take over a game. And that's something that the Rockets really didn't have or really couldn't do enough of to be able to finish the Warriors off. Other than that, that's just what I feel. Let me know what you guys feel in the comment section below. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell for more analysis. And if you're new to the channel, I do conversation videos just like this and various NBA only topics. I also do breakdowns with real footage of legends, current legends, rookies, and also future stars. I also do mock draft and draft coverage too. So if you love that type of stuff, I already got 3,000 plus videos already on my channel that you can watch and you can enjoy. Plus, I upload every single day that I'm living. So if you love that type of stuff and if you love that type of NBA content, this is the channel for you. I guarantee it. And my videos will prove that. Other than that, hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed y'all day. Hope y'all guys are grinding and getting what y'all want out of life and staying positive and continue to do the things that keep you where you need to be mentally and also positivity wise. Also, on top of that, I also got my social medias on my channel. You're going to see some other things I like to do besides NBA on the content on this channel. And I also have my email on my channel if you want to contact me for any reason besides whatever the reason is. You actually can contact me for that. And my email is on my channel for that. Other than that, y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay good. Let's continue to try to make 2015 a day of the past and work on the present and make that a better day and a better year than that one, which is 2025. We've been going hard for 4 months. Let's try to go hard for this 5th month. We're off to a great start so far for this month. And let's try to do it for the rest of the year if it's meant for me to live in, for y'all to watch it. That should be our goal for this channel. And I think we're off to a great start, like I said before. Other than that, peace out. I'm gone for now. See you guys later tomorrow with more analysis. Y'all stay blessed up, and I'm gone for now.